Can you tell us about your training and expertise?
Sure. So I'm a ENT consultant and I'm a substantive consultant in the NHS. I gained my ENT training as higher surgical training in Scotland, primarily in Edinburgh. Towards the end of my training, I did a year of fellowship in Melbourne, Australia. After coming back, I was offered a fellowship in States where I gained expertise in facial cosmetic surgery as well as advanced robotic surgery in head and neck. And upon return to UK from my American fellowship, I have been working as a consultant ENT surgeon in the NHS, but because there is a dearth of dedicated exclusive facial cosmetic service, we set up a British Face Clinic to ensure that the patients in UK who would benefit from a facial cosmetic procedure can have it at their doorstep. So at the moment, I work in the NHS where I'm a consultant surgeon, and in the private practice, I mostly offer facial cosmetic surgery.
It would be great to hear a little bit more about what you have brought to the UK in terms of your expertise with deep plane facelift. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So as I said, I started gaining experience in facial cosmetic surgery during my fellowship in USA. When I came back, we set a British Face Clinic and we started offering facial cosmetic surgery. However, I was not completely satisfied with the outcome with my initial facelifts. So I went back to States and spent time with Dr. Giocano in New York, who is a world authority on facelift, particularly with deep plane facelift. So I imbibed his technique, and since coming back from my time spent with him, I have been offering this technique to the British patients, which gives them a much more natural and much more long-lasting results.
So you've got a lot of experience in general, but then you decided to take on an additional period of training in New York. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how you gained your unique expertise in deep plane facelift?
Yep. So when I came back from my fellowship in America and started doing facial cosmetic surgery here, my initial facelifts were pretty much similar to the others offered by other surgeons in this country. However, I could see that there were deficiencies in the outcome. So I decided to go and spend time with Dr. Giocano, who is a world-renowned authority in facelift particularly. So I went and spent time with him learning his technique of a deep plane facelift in New York, and that is what I have brought back. And I'm delighted to say that the outcome from a proper deep plane facelift is so much better than the conventional facelift that is usually offered in this country, because it is more anatomy based. It really addresses the underlying structure which becomes slack and droop with aging, and it gives a much more natural and much longer lasting result than the conventional facelift that is usually offered in the UK. So my results have tremendously improved, and so has the satisfaction in my patients.
And what do you think it was the unique expertise that you picked up when you were working with Dr. Giocano? So you mentioned to me earlier that there are some nerves and some things that specifically very few people in your role have the expertise to handle.
Yeah. So unlike UK, most of the facial cosmetic surgery in America is done by ENT surgeons who subspecialize in facial cosmetic surgery. And there is logic behind it, because as an ENT head and neck surgeon, the surgeons who specialize in head and neck surgery, such as myself, we operate on the facial nerve region quite frequently, be it parotid salivary gland or other cancers in that area. This gives us a very thorough understanding of the anatomy, and that is vital when it comes to doing a deep plane facelift, because during that procedure you are working just over the nerve, and you need to be very well aware of the anatomy so that you have confidence in when it comes to operating on that area. And that is absolutely necessary to work on the appropriate layer and pull it back to give you a normal, much better facelift.